Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Kinetic Impressions Movie News. I'm Arnie.
I'm Andy.
And today we're going to be talking about the kind of gigantic news that Zack Snyder's Justice League, has officially gotten the R rating. And according to this article from slashfilm.com, it has gotten an R rating for violence and some language. So just violence and some language. All right, Drew. So I think what's happening here is that we're gonna get some blood and maybe a couple F-bombs. I don't know.
I think we might get the word shit.
Maybe the word shit, right? Maybe I think the article does reference like maybe you're gonna get the Flash saying the word shit every like 2 seconds or something like that. I think what I want to kind of talk about here is the audacity that the WB has right now. They have like they knew they fucked up a lot. Am I wrong in saying that? Like, you know, in the other kind of movies, the DC universe, right?
So they reasons why that you're right.
Yeah, I think they just are like, I don't know what to do. They're like, all right, you know what? All right, we're just gonna give Zack Snyder fucking reign. Just do whatever it is that you want to do with this thing and just go with it. Which, like, I'm totally for. I'm totally for it. I fucking feel that, you know, artists should always have free range to do what they want. Of course, I also think that sometimes that's not a good thing.
Right.
You know, sometimes I think maybe your artists need to be a little bit pushed back or something. The only reference that we have here, let me ask you, did you like Batman v Superman? Did you watch the director's cut?
Yes, I was going to say I did not like it. I feel like when I watched the director's cut, I wondered why it was cut, because there's some very important scenes that give it flow, that give the film an extra, like, just gives the meaning of the movie a little, it makes it way more robust. And I was wondering who the fuck cut that shit. Like,
yeah. I wonder if they did it for time or something like that. Now, I think with the directors, I think with the direct, like, and also like Batman v Superman really gives you a kind of a tell of exactly what Zack Snyder was trying to go for with those movies, which you could totally tell that he like Rian Johnson was trying to do a subversive thing with the franchise, right?
Right.
It was kind of, you know, he didn't really go with the real mythos of the story of what the actual comic books have created for the characters, and he kind of wanted to create his own mythos for it, which is kind of the same thing he did with Superman, the Superman movie he did, which I really liked. But I do worry because I like Zack Snyder as a director of visual films, but when I've watched many of his movies, I do get a sense that he is all minutia. You know, he's kind of all about the flash and the film of it. And since I don't think we've really seen a good version of what he does with these characters, I just don't know. And obviously, I guess the one thing that I like about all this is the fact that at the very least, he has been given time to really flesh all this out. He was given a $70 million budget to finish out this movie as well, which is going to be apparently a 4-hour-long movie.
It's in parts though, right? Like, aren't they going to do like a 3 release? There's a lot of rumors.
So yeah, I think they initially he did come out last week with an article saying that no, this is going to be a movie. Oh, it's not a miniseries; it's a movie. So I think it's going to be like a 4-hour-long straight.
I was hoping they would cut it up just to kind of, you know, prolong the release. You know, you get maybe 3 parts released
for sure,
3 weeks back to back. But okay, so I really like what he did. I watched something where he talks about what he did with the Avengers. That's not him, right?
No, that's not him. It's not him at all.
Yeah, I don't even know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Uh, I don't know what I was gonna say. Okay, I think I was like, I I think I agree with you, man. Batman versus Superman. It didn't play on exactly what really happened with everything in the comics, but it still was, I thought, was going to be a good story.
Yeah.
And just the places it got cut, I think we all just wanted to see all these characters in the same room. And it was just like that's what I was going to bring up. It's like, just like Avengers, we just want to see that full circle of everybody in the room.
Yeah, for sure. The funness of it and all that. And then like fast forward to Justice League where we kind of got that, right? And like for the fact that it was like the directing credits on that movie, I believe was still given to Zack. It may have been, I think maybe Joss Whedon got the credit for it. But that was still a lot of this movie that we're going to see, right? Because the original plan was for Justice League to be a two-parter, right? So we got basically the skeletons of what the first movie was going to be, right? And then it would just kind of Frankenstein together with a bunch of Joss Whedon reshot stuff as well.
Right.
And I think that movie failed just fundamentally because everything, it was just a movie that was half made and then just kind of slapped together. And the things that I dug about both of those movies are really about the character work that was kind of done to kind of usurp your ideas of these characters, right? So Superman going bad, really interesting, could have been done better. I really like the way that I could see where they were going with that. And that's the one thing that's got me excited about this movie, because that is definitely going to be an idea that's going to be even more fleshed out, right? If you remember that flashback, that weird kind of like a esoteric Mad Max flashback scene that we got in the Justice League movie that was supposed to be part of the second part, where you get a bad Superman that is, interrogating Batman in that kind of futuristic world where the world is completely dystopian and it's like a fucking Mad Max world. Like that is a really interesting story that I want to see fleshed out, and that gets me really excited for this. Right, and so like and the fact that it's gotten the R rating kind of gets me to this thing in my head where we're gonna see like a really kind of hardcore superhero DC action movie, Mad Max, futuristic. Just,
I was going to ask you, do you think this movie would have been good with Josh Whedon completely at the helm from day one?
From day one, look, I'll say this until the day I die. I hate the fact that it turns out Joss Whedon may be an asshole. I fucking love Joss Whedon. I think his writing does is it gets into some nuances that you just don't know about until you hear the stories, and he's just so good at bringing new character and new dialogue that you would have not even have thought of, but also connects you really well to the characters. I think he brings a heart and a nuance that I don't think a lot of writers can bring. I badly want to see a Joss Whedon Justice League movie. I mean, look what he did with Avengers. That's
Avengers exactly what I'm thinking about. Yeah,
is so good, and is the reason the first Avengers movie is the reason the comedy of the Marvel universe is the way it is. That movie brought in so much comedy, and it actually into the Marvel universe that we had never seen before. Maybe a little bit here and there in the Tony Stark Iron Man movie, but it brought the slapstick. It brought these characters together in a way that made sense because it was a war movie, right? Well, it was a war movie. It brought the idea of Thor in as an alien.
He brought tension. He brought tension the best into that movie. There's a scene that he always talks about filming, and it's this shot that he was stressing apparently the whole time on how he was going to shoot this thing, and it's when they're in the scientific lab room, and
and then the shot goes upside down.
Yeah, and like it's rotating the whole time, but he's just worried because he's like he has to focus on so much character development in each person, with each person's like any word they say, he had to worry about that. And
Yeah.
I really think I trust him to be the head of the film. I feel bad. I think this movie went south because it was a half and half
Yes.
mashup. And
Absolutely.
I don't think we can blame either one of these guys
No.
for how bad the movie was. I think the only thing we had to do is, I mean, you have to just sack it up as a loss. I mean, the studios couldn't save this film. They really tried, and I give them mad props for them trying to make this not a bomb. And I think they did what they could.
Yeah.
I think they still are. I'm excited about this Warner Brothers. It's going to be a rated R straight to HBO Max, right? So
Yes.
like, I mean,
Yeah.
that's gonna. I'm excited to see this. What is it? March 16th? It's almost a month.
Yeah. The release date's right here, right? Yeah. It's gonna be
A little over a month until it's released. I'm pumped. I'm glad it's rated R. It should be rated R because it's not a theatrical release.
Yeah. It's a good point. Yeah.
That's a no brainer to me. I would have made sure that like Zack could release whatever he wants, because you know what I mean. Like it's one of the easiest ways. We're going straight to DVD. It's like it's a straight to DVD. You can go as raunchy. This should be not rated.
Yeah, it's going to be March 18th, 2021. It's going to have a runtime of 240 minutes. 240 minutes. I mean, this has to be epic. Yeah.
So like we're just 4 hours. Gosh.
Yeah, 4 hours. It's it's gonna be nuts. You did bring up a point here. I want to touch on this before we're done with this. The what happened to Justice League is really not anyone's fault. The reason Zack Snyder stepped away, and this has been talked about at length, he had a family tragedy. His daughter committed suicide.
Shit.
And he just couldn't bring himself to finish the movie, because also his wife is one of his biggest producing partners, and it was their child. So they both had to step away. Warner Brothers did reportedly say, hey, take as much time as you need. We will finish this thing. We'll do the thing that you want to do. But he just couldn't do it, and just said, look, I got to give up. I got to be out. So they gave the rings to Joss Whedon to fix that movie. It was a hodgepodge movie brought together. They did their best. It really failed on a lot of cylinders. There were parts of that movie that I really liked. There were parts of the movie I didn't like. Overall, it just didn't jive well with everything, and it just felt like it was stuck together. It felt like an incomplete movie.
Last question. Just before we wrap up, Arnie, I just want to know, do you think a good version of this movie saved this franchise?
It's got to be damn good. It's got to be fucking.
I mean, we can't go back in the past, so like I'm just saying.
I don't know what this movie is, too. I don't know, because we've talked about what DC seems to be doing. They also, part of this, I could bring this up about this too. They're bringing Jared Leto into this as well. There was a picture released today, a couple of days ago, of Jared Leto being part of this. So this is a big thing. And we've talked about how like Disney is committed to the multiverse thing, where they're going to bring in a Batman from all over the corners of every universe. We're getting Michael Keaton back. We're getting Ben Affleck back. I don't know what other Batman they're going to bring in, but they're bringing them both back. And this movie is that whatever this is part of the abandoned Snyderverse that is still going to come back, right?
Right.
So there is also a possibility. This is also the Superman. Like this is the Superman movie we didn't get. This is going to be the Batman movie we didn't get. This is going to be a new Wonder Woman we didn't get. This is going to be a Flash movie we didn't get. And then this is also going to be a Cyborg movie, but like that Cyborg guy is out too. I'm sorry, I'm getting into like the fucking weeds with this. I think it can. It just. I hope it has to be. It's a 4-hour movie. It better be epic. It better be satisfying. It needs to be crowd pleasing. It needs to be everything the first Justice League movie was, and a little more. Honestly, no. You know what? If it is a fun movie that makes sense and fits the same level of that Justice League movie, I think it'll be fine. I mean, they're sticking a lot to this. They're giving the fans what they wanted, man. This was a fan campaign to the nth degree, and they're just like all in on it. I applaud Warner Brothers for this, and I applaud Zack Snyder for having the will to complete his vision. And honestly, I'm going to watch this movie to give it support because I support these kind of endeavors. And I fucking hope it's good, man. I'm pumped to see this shit, man. I'm pumped. I'm pumped to see what it becomes and what it is. I hope it's fucking good.
Yeah, me too, man.
I hope it's good, man. All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for watching. This is Kinetic Impressions. I'm Arnie.
I'm Andy.
Please like, subscribe, comment. Let us know what you thought of all the Snyder movies, the Superman, the Batman vs. Superman, the weird hodgepodge Justice League movie made together with Joss Whedon. Let us know what you think about this video. Find us on all your podcasting platforms at Kinetic Impressions. And I also have a podcast called The Arnie Diaz Show. Thank you. Thank you so much for watching. And Drew, what do we always say?
Go watch a fucking movie.
Go watch a fucking movie. All right.